Hello children, let's begin our maths class. Today we are going to start with our exercise 2.3. I hope you are clear with the previous two exercises that we have done under chapter 2. Yes, I hope you are doing all your studies and all your class works and all your homeworks properly. Just follow the work, children. You have sufficient time, so use your time wisely and complete your works. Just update yourself so that no need to spend extra effort in the last time. Every day, whatever work is done, every day you have to complete your work. Today, we are going to start with exercise 2.3. Now, this 2.3 is a continuation of 2.2. We are just going to take some of the hints that we have done in our exercise 2.2. So, I would like to start directly with our class. That is, we are going to start with exercise 2.3. Take down your classwork, children. Take down your classwork. Write down today's date. Write exercise 2.3. I hope you are ready with your date and you are ready with the exercise number. Write down the first question. Write down the first question from exercise 2.3. Represent the following inequalities in the interval notation. Question number 1. Represent the following inequalities in the interval notation. Already we have represented in the previous exercise using interval notation. So we have represented the value of x in interval notation. Interval notation means you have to use a bracket. I have told you, you have a closed bracket and you have an open bracket. So this is open interval where the numbers are excluded. Suppose you take number 3 and 5, and when you're writing in an open interval, this means the value 3 and the value 5 is excluded. We are not going to consider the number 3 and the number 5. So we are going to take the value between 3 and 5, but not 3 and 5. Similarly, when you go for a closed interval, this means you have to consider both the numbers. So this will be the number such that you have to consider 3, plus you have to consider the number 5, and also you have to take the numbers present between 3 and 5. So this is what about closed interval. So we are going to represent the following inequality. So you have been given with inequalities and we are going to try to write the inequalities in the interval notation. Let's start with the sum, children. I hope you have taken the question. Take down the first subpart. Take down the first subpart. X is greater than or equal to minus 1 and x is less than 4. What about the inequality? X is greater than or equal to minus 1 and x is less than 4. So this is a very important question you have to remember. I have told you this type of questions will be carried out through your higher studies. We have to understand the basic concepts, and you're studying the basic thing in your class 11 and you will be having a detailed study about this in your higher classes. So just clear with your basic concepts. We are just going to go very slow. You are going to understand each and everything. If you have any doubt, you can just comment your doubts to us. Let's continue with the sum, children. Okay, so x is greater than or equal to minus 1 and x is less than 4. So the easiest way is to draw a number line, and let's try to find out the interval notation. So I'm going to draw a number line. Just draw the number line below it. You're going to take your scale and you're going to take your pencil and you're going to draw a number line. Nobody is going to draw the number line with a pen. Be careful. You have to use your scale and pencil. So draw a number line, children. I hope you are ready with your number lines. Okay. Now let's take the values over here. What are the values you are going to take here? You are going to take the values minus 1 and 4. So first of all, when you draw a number line, draw here minus infinity and put here infinity. We know the last number is going to be minus infinity, and this side, the right side, you have positive infinity, and on the left side you have negative infinity. Okay. Now you can just just for your reference, you can just think that this is the origin part. Now there is a 0 part over here, and where is minus 1 going to lie? So minus 1 is going to lie to the left side. So somewhere here. Okay, so I just put here minus 1. And where is 4 going to lie? 4 is going to lie on the right side of 0. So this is 0, means 4 is going to lie somewhere here. So I have just marked the points. Mark the point, children. So draw a number line. Plot the points. Do not go on plotting all the points. The points that we need. Like we need minus 1, we need 4. Just go on writing minus infinity, and that's all. Okay, now we are going to find out the intervals where this value is going to lie. Let's go for the value part. Say, children, x is greater than or equal to minus 1. I have told you in the previous class, if it's a greater than means go to the right side. Which direction are you going to move? You're going to move to the right side, to the positive side. Come to the positive side. And when you have a lesser sign, you have to come to the left side. Remember, which side are you going to move? You're going to come to the left side. So you have a greater, when it is a greater sign, you have to come to the right side. And if it's a lesser sign, you have to come to the left side. Okay, now here, let's come for the first part. X is greater than or equal to minus 1. Greater than, that means where are you going to move? Where is the direction going to be? Yes, you are going to follow a right direction. Good. That means you have to travel this side. Okay, children? So this is somewhat here. Now, just tell me, children, are we going to include minus 1? Are we going to consider minus 1? You can just put a small arrow. Okay? Don't go on writing big arrow. Just we have just mentioning the direction, which direction it is moving. So it is moving to the right side. Okay, now the question was whether to include minus 1 or not. Yes, we are going to include minus 1. Why, children? Yes, because here less than or equal to is present. Equal to is present. So minus 1 will be included. So we have to include minus 1. Okay. Now coming to the next condition. X is less than 4. X is less than 4. Less than 4 means which direction are we going to move? We are going to move to the left direction. Yes, we are going to come to the left side. Right side, left side. Okay. So now, are we going to consider the number 4? How many people say yes? So no one is raising the hand. That means you have understood the concept. Yes? So x is less than 4 means you are not going to consider the number 4 because we have only less than. We don't have less than or equal to. So this number is not included. Clear, children? So let's complete the answer now. So you have to write down here x belonging to. So where is the value lying between? The value is lying between minus 1 and 4. So how are we going to write down? So I'm going to use a closed interval for minus 1 and 4. I'm going to use an open interval. Open interval means this number is not going to be included. Why it is not included? Because only less than sign is present. But for 1 you have greater than or equal to sign is present. So we have to take minus 1. So minus 1 is in closed bracket, 4 is in the open bracket or open interval. So this is your required interval notation. Okay, let's go for the, yes, I'll give you homework, yes. So your exercise 2.3, so homework is from question number 1, exercise 2.3, question number 1. The second subpart and the third subpart is your homework, children. Question number 1, the second subpart and the third subpart is your homework. The fourth one I'll be doing as a classwork. So take down the fourth subpart. Take down the fourth subpart. Minus 2x greater than 0 or 3x minus 4 less than 11. I hope you are clear with the first sum, yes, children? So just we are going to follow the fourth sum. Let's see how to try out the fourth sum. So we have minus 2x greater than 0 or 3x minus 4 less than 11. Let's start with the work, children. Shall we proceed? So here we don't know the values of x directly, so we are going to solve and we are going to find out the value for x. So just put your pens down and listen to the sum, children. So we have minus 2x greater than 0. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to take this 2 to that side. So this is minus x greater than 0. So 0 upon 2 gives you 0. So don't take minus 2. We have told you that whenever we take the sign, everything changes. So do not take the sign, just take the number. So minus 2x greater than 0. So what happens here? I'm just going to divide by 2 on both sides. So when I divide by 2 on both sides, minus x less greater than 0 is left out. Now I have told you that we don't want the first term to be negative. So we are going to change the sign. And when you change the sign, remember you have to change the sign of the comparison part also. That is, we have a greater than here. When you change the sign, what happens? The greater than changes to less than. So what you get over here? You get x less than 0. I hope you're clear with this step, children, because I have got here minus x greater than 0. We don't want the first term to be negative. So you are going to change minus x as plus x. The greater than changes to less than, and we don't put any sign for 0. So 0 remains the same. So what you have got here? X is less than 0. Coming to the second case. Okay, just draw a line over here. So 3x minus 4. 3x minus 4 is less than 11. So 3x less than, or what I do is I try to bring everything on one side. Or we can, okay, we'll take that side, no problem. 3x less than 11, this is minus 4, so it becomes plus 4. So 3x less than 15. So x is less than 15 upon 3. So x is less than 5. A very simple calculation. Minus 4 goes to that side, so plus 4. So 3x less than 15. So x is less than 15 by 3, so you get x is less than 5. Let's draw a number line and let's try to find out the interval notation for the given inequality. Let's go with the answer part, children. I hope you have taken down you have solved the inequalities. I'll draw the number line over here. So first of all, draw a number line. Write down minus infinity, write down plus infinity, write down 0 over here. Now, what are you going to write down? We want a number 0 and we want a number 5. So, 0 is here, 5. Where is 5 going to lie, children? 5 will be lying on the right side of 0. Yeah, somewhere here. 5 is going to lie on the right side. Yes. Let's see the condition. X is less than 0. X is less than. X is less than 0. Less than 0 means what? X is less than. Less than means which direction are we going to move? We are going to move to the left side. Yeah. So you are going to move to the left side. Somewhat this side. So you are going to move to the left side. X is less than 5. Again you are going to move to the left side. Clear? See here, children. So you get a common area here. So x is less than 0 means here this side. And x is less than 5 again coming to this side. So now less than means it is coming towards the minus infinity part. And tell me now, anyway, I cannot take 0 because when you talk about x is less than 5, 0 also comes under that. Yes, children? So you are going to write as x belonging to minus infinity. I have told you, do not write infinity or minus infinity as a closed bracket. Whenever you go for minus infinity or plus infinity, you have to use an open interval. So x belonging to minus infinity, and just come here, children. I am just not going to stop in 0. I have to take 5 because the 5 covers this area also. So we have to take the proper area. So don't choose this area. you have to choose this area 5. Now tell me whether 5 is going to be included. No. Why is 5 not included? Because you have less than 5. Less than 5 means the number 5 is not included. So you have to write down your 5 and you have to put a open bracket. Open bracket indicates the number 5 is not included. So this is the required answer. So x belonging to minus infinity, comma 5. Okay, children, so we have completed our first question. Yes, children, so from the first question, I have given you the second and the third question as homework. The second subpart and the third subpart as homework. Now take down the question number 2. Take down question number 2. Do not waste your time, children. Copy down question number 2. I hope you are clear with the sums. So understand, whenever I say something, you have to listen to it carefully and then you have to complete your classwork. You know, because already you have lot of time. Yes, you can see your videos. You have time to watch your videos. So you just use it properly. Okay. Let's go with the next question. I hope you have completed all the graphs for the fourth subpart. Okay, done. Let's go for the next question. Question number 2. Solve 23x less than 100. Solve 23x less than 100 when x is a natural number. So I'll just go for the first part. I'll take the first one as when x is a natural number. Okay. So this is what I have to find out. So before I go with the question, just write down there, children. For question number 2, you just write down solve 23x less than 100. Both the question part we'll write later on. First of all, we'll find the value for x, and later on we'll apply the, we'll take the required condition. So write down the question, solve 23x less than 100. Okay, so now let's find out the value for x, children. So what is the value for x? So x is less than 100 upon 23. The 23 goes to the RHS part. So you get x less than 100 upon 23. Let's divide and get the answer. 23, 2s are, 3s are, 2s are 36, 46, 46, 12, 8, 92. So 4s are 92, 8, 0, decimal point. So 3s are 9, 6, 69. So I'll get here 3, 69, 11, 10 minus 9, 1, 7 minus 6, 11. Yes. So again put here 0. So 23, 4s are is 92. Yes. So 5s are 115. So I have to take here 4 again. 92, 8, 0, 18. 180, 7, 21, 14, 16, 8, 24, 16, 18. I have to take 7. I'll take 7. And this is 161. 1, 2, 7, 14, 16. Yes. So you get here 9, 7, 1. Yes, 19. Children, you have to take down the division also. Show the division part. Complete it. I have just stopping. I'm just taking the 3 decimal point. Enough. Just take on 4.34. I hope you are doing the division, children. Do not waste your time. Do the calculation part. Okay. Shall we proceed? So we have found the value for x. That is, we can say that x is less than 4.347. Around this, we have just found the 3 decimal places. So x is less than 4.347. We can round off to that's 2 decimal places also. That also we can do it. Okay, just we'll keep it here as 4.347. Now let's go for the first part. The first part is, now only we are going to come to the first part. The question was, what is solve 23x less than 100 when x is a natural number and when x is an integer. So before we go for a natural number or for an integer, what is your work is you have to get the value for x. So now what we have got here, we have got x is less than 4.347. Okay children, now let's go for the first condition, when x is a natural number. Okay. What is the meaning of natural number, children? Yes, we have already studied that x, natural number means the number that starts from 1. And how is the inequality given over here? The inequality says that x is less than 4.3. 4.3 means somewhat it is, it's not going to 5, it's less than 4.347. So here, suppose you have a number line. This is just for your understanding purpose, children. So you have a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the question is to find out the value for x when x is a natural number. So I know that the x is going to take the value from 1. So it's going to take the value 1, it's going to take the value 2, 3. What about 4? Yes, it's going to take 4 because 4.3 means somewhat here. It is crossing 4. So you have to take the number 4. But we cannot take the number 5 because this number is not reaching 5. It is somewhat near 4, 4.3. So write down the value, therefore, x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 because x is less than 4.347. So you're going to write down the value for x as 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you have taken down the answer for the first part. Okay, good. Now let's go for the second subpart. What is the second subpart given? X is a integer. Second subpart. X is a integer. Now what do you mean by integer, children? Okay, so it's better. Okay, we draw a number line for integer, children. I'll draw here the integer. So you draw a number line over here. 0. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and somewhat you will get your number -1, -2, and so on. It goes on, yes? So now we have to talk about an integer. I have told you for integer, it contains the negative number, it contains the number 0, and it also contains a positive number. Now here the condition is x is less than 4.347. That means somewhat till here. You have the value somewhat till here. It's not going to 5. So now what is the condition given? X is less than means we have to consider all this. That is from minus infinity itself we are going to consider. So what you'll write here? So I'll be writing here. You can just draw the number line for your reference, children. So you have to draw a line like this. And for integer, you have to consider all this part. The whole area is going to come. So x is equal to, here we have some more numbers, yes, dot, dot, dot will come. So put here dot, 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 3 dots. I told you 3 dots are enough. Dot, 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 -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do not go for 5 because the line is not crossing 4. This line is not crossing 5. We are just very close to 4. It's not completely crossing this full part. So x is equal to dot, 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 -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, children, I hope you're clear with question number 2. Okay, go for the third question. So question number 2, we have completed everything. Yes, children? Now go for question number 3. Question number 3, same manner. Here one thing is extra. Solve minus 2x greater than or equal to 9 when first one x is a real number, second one x is an integer, and third one x is a natural number. So from question number 3, you are going to do the second subpart and the third subpart. I'll be doing the first subpart for classwork and you're going to complete the second subpart and the third subpart. So write down the question, children. So do not write the full question, just write the solve part. Write down solve minus 2x greater than or equal to 9. Minus 2x greater than or equal to 9. That's what the question is. Minus 2x greater than or equal to 9. Okay. So let's try to get the value for x, children. Let's solve for x. So this is x greater than or equal to 9 upon 2. Clear? So what do you say? Minus x is greater than or equal to, you can write here 4.5. We know the value for 9 upon 2. What is half of 9 upon 2? Yes, it is 4.5. Now, I don't want a term of x as negative, so we have to change the sign. So this becomes x greater than or equal to will turn to less than or equal to 4.5. So this is the case for x. So what is the inequality we have arrived at? X is less than or equal to 4.5. Now let's follow up for the first part. What is the first part given to you? The first part is x is a real number. Yes, x is a real number. What do you mean by real number, children? I have already told you that under real number you have every numbers, like it may be a natural number, it may be a whole number, it may be an integer, it may be a rational number, it may be an irrational number. So everything comes under real number. Clear? So we are going to write down the value for real number. What is the thing given to you? I'll just draw a number line. Less than, okay, so I'll put here 0, minus infinity, plus infinity. X is less than or equal to 4.5, so 4.5 somewhere here. 4.5. Clear? So I write 4.5. X is less than or equal to 4.5. Less than or equal to 4.5 means what? Less than. Less than means which side are you going to travel? You're going to travel to the left side. Come to the left side. Here. And I have told you that real number means every number will be included there. Natural number, whole number, integers, everything will come under the real number. So you can take the numbers from minus infinity. Okay, children, because everything will be covered. Everything will be covered under the real numbers. So you can start from minus infinity itself. Okay, now here, is the number 4.5 going to be included? Yes, because you have less than or equal to. So what will be the value here? X belonging to minus infinity. I have told you, right? Minus infinity using a open interval. And you have, yeah, one more thing we missed out, children. This is x less than or equal to, yes, this is minus 4.5. So you have to consider the minus 4.5 here. You're not going to take this minus 4.5. So this side. So it is going to be like this side. See, whenever we are changing the sign, we have to change everything. That's what we may make mistake. So be careful. The minus x turns to be plus x. Greater than or equal to turns to be less than or equal to. And plus 4.5 will change to minus 4.5. So we are not going to take the positive part. We are going to take the negative part. So minus 4.5. So where is the real number going to lie? It's less than or equal to minus 4.5 means you have to see the left side. So come to the left side. So you get minus infinity to 4.5. That is minus 4.5. So here less than or equal to is mentioned. So you have to consider this number. So this is minus 4.5. Use a closed interval. So what is the value for x? X belonging to minus infinity, comma, minus 4.5. I hope you are clear with the answers, children. So similarly, you are going to proceed for the second subpart and the third subpart. For second subpart, it's for integer, so just check for the integer part and also check for the natural part. I hope you can try out the third sum. Now let's go for question number 4. Let's go to question number 4. Write on question number 4. I hope you are doing all the number lines, children. So you have to draw the number line so that it will be easy for you to understand from where is where. Like real number means you have to take all. All means what? It starts from minus infinity. For integer part, I did not take from minus infinity. I told you, okay, just dot, dot, dot. You just put dot, 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 and you just take some numbers. Are you clear, children? So there is a difference. Just understand some concepts and you use it. Come to question number 4. First subpart, let's solve 3x minus 2 upon 5, 3x minus 2 upon 5, less than or equal to 5, 2 minus x upon 3, 2 minus x upon 3. Clear? What's given to you? 3 x minus 2 upon 5 less than or equal to 5, 2 minus x upon 3. So just listen to this sum carefully, children. Let's work out with the sum. So what are we going to do here? We are going to cross multiply and let's see what we get. So I am going to cross multiply this and this here. So this is 9, 3 3s are 9, x minus 2, everything remains the same, less than or equal to 5 5s are 25, 2 minus x. So what we have got, just by cross multiplying, when we cross multiply you get 3 3s are 9, x minus 2 less than or equal to 25, 2 minus x. Now let's open the bracket. So 9 into x, 9x, 9 into minus 2, minus 18. Yes. Less than or equal to 25 2s are 50 minus 25x. Clear? 9 into x, 9x, 9 into minus 2 minus 18 less than or equal to 25 2s are 50, 25 into minus x, minus 25x. Clear, children? So now what are we going to do is, we are going to bring the x terms together and the numbers on one side. Otherwise what we do, we just bring everything on one side and later on we'll shift the numbers on one side. So that will be easy for us. So 9x plus 25x minus 18 minus 50 less than or equal to 0. Just bringing all the terms on one side. So what we have got? So we have got 9x plus 25x minus 18 minus 50 less than or equal to 0. Let's solve, children. 25 plus 9, 34. Good. 25 plus 9 is 34. So 34x minus, I will not put the minus sign first, 18 plus 50, 68, I know that. Okay. So minus minus gives you plus, minus minus plus. So 50 plus 18, 68. Sign of the bigger number is minus. So you have to write down here minus 68 less than or equal to 0. Clear, children? So I'll try to take the 68 to that side. So I'll get 34x is less than or equal to 68. Clear? That's why I have told you that we can, here what we did is, we brought the x terms and all the terms together. Otherwise you would have kept the x terms on one side and the numbers on one side. So we have two ways of solving. So you get here 34x less than or equal to 68. Okay, so now what are we going to do? So this is equal to x less than or equal to 68 upon 34. I'm going to divide by 34. I'll take the 34 to the RHS part. So what you get? X is less than or equal to 68 upon 34. So what is the answer, children? Yes, 2s are. See, double of 34 is 68. 34 2s are 68. So write down here x is less than or equal to 2. So we got the value for x. So what was the question? The question was to solve, yes? Solve the values, that is solve. So we are going to find out the condition. So we have found the inequality, that is x. We cannot say it is the value for x, children, okay? Just remember, value for x means x is equal to 2. If you get x is equal to 2 means you say, okay, the value for x is 2. But here we have less than or equal to, we have greater than equal to, less than, greater than. So you say inequality. What is the sign called? Inequality sign. So x is less than or equal to 2. So let's try to draw a number line and try to write the answer using interval notation. So always try to write the answer using interval notation, children. So we get x is less than or equal to 2. I'll draw a number line. Minus infinity, plus infinity, 0. We have 2. Here no need of worrying about the sign, yes, all are positive, so no need to worry. So just 2. Where is 2 going to lie? 2 is going to lie on the right side. Yes, 2. X is less than or equal to 2. So how will be the answer, children? Have you drawn the number line? Draw the number line. Use your scale and pencil, children. Okay. Let's start the work. So x is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to, again, less than, whenever less. Less means left. Remember. L-E, less, left. Greater than right. Okay. So now x is less than or equal to, that means it is going to lie to the left side, less than or equal to 2. So around it is going to start from minus infinity to 2. So x belonging to minus infinity to be written as an open interval and 2 will be written as a closed interval. Why I am taking 2 as a closed interval? Because we have less than or equal to. Equal to is present, that means 2 is included. So you have to write 2 as a closed interval. So this is the required solution. Highlight your answers, children. X belonging to minus infinity, comma 2. So do not waste your time. It's very easy. So just draw the number line and understand the concept. So if you are clear with the number line, it is very, very easy to write the interval notation, children. Okay. So try to draw a number line and try to get the answer in terms of interval notation. So we have completed question number 4, first subpart, and from question number 4, the second subpart will be a homework. So only 5 sums. I'm not going to give you more sums. From question number 1, the second and the third subpart, very simple sums, only 2 lines. You may get your answers in 2 lines. And question number 3, second subpart and the third subpart, again you have a 2-line answers. Question number 4, it is just solving. You have to solve and you have to draw a number line and you have to get the interval notation. So question number 4, the second subpart will be a homework. Now let's go to sum number 5. Take on question number 5. To secure A grade, one must obtain an average of 90 marks or more in 5 subjects, each of maximum 100 marks. Okay, so what is the total mark of a particular subject? The total mark is 100. And what is there asking? He should obtain an average of 90 marks. So here we are being talking about the average sums. Okay, I hope you have taken on this. Shall I rub all this? Okay, now listen to the question. Let's read the question first. To secure A grade, one must, to secure, suppose the person or suppose the student wants to score A grade, okay? One must obtain an average of 90 marks. So he should score an average, not a 90 mark. He should score an average of 90 mark or more. He can score 90 or more. Maybe more than 90, like 91, 92, 93, 94, up to 100. Okay. in 5 subjects. So total number of subjects, 5 subjects. Each of maximum marks, what is the total marks for each subject? 100. If one scored, that is suppose the person has scored 84 in one subject, 87 in one subject, 95 in one subject, 91 in one subject. That is total out of 5 subjects. Here we are being given the information about the 4 subjects. That is, we are not given the detail about the name of the subject, just the marks of the subjects are given. So he has scored 84, he has scored 87, 95, 91 in the first 4 subjects. What is the minimum mark once scored in the 5th subject to get A grade in the course? So the condition is to get a A grade. So he has to score a A grade. When he is going to get a A grade, he is going to get a A grade when he is going to score grade more than 90. More than, see, what is the thinking? More. 90 marks or more. That means 90 mark or more. That means he has to score 90. He can score 90 or he can score more than 90. So this is greater than or equal to 90. I hope you are clear with the sign, children, why we are using greater than or equal to 90. Because he can score 90. If he scores 90, he is going to get A grade. If he scores more than 90, he is going to get A grade. So greater than or equal to 90. Clear, children? So this is a sign. So remember, so seeing the statement, by looking at the statement, when you read the statement once, you read it twice or thrice. If you're not able to understand the question, read it twice or thrice. When you read it, what happens is you get automatically you get the idea, because we have already seen some of the sums in our previous classes. Yes, children? So let's see. So more than 90 mark or more. What do you mean by 90 or more? That means he can score 90 or he can score more than 90. Up to 100 he can score. So how the symbol will be? Greater than or equal to 90. Okay. Now they have given you the detail about the marks of 4 subjects, and our work is to find out the mark of the 5th subject. But we have to find out the mark in such a way that the grade should be A grade. He should obtain a A grade. Let us go for the answer, children. Write down. Let the mark obtained, or you say just let the mark in the 5th subject be X. Let the mark, wait, I'll use a proper word, scored. Okay, we use scored. Let the mark scored in 5th subject be X. Okay, we don't know what is the mark he is going to score in 5th subject, because we are given with the detail of first 4 subjects. So I don't know what is the mark he is going to score in 5th subject. So take it as X. Let the mark scored in 5th subject be X. Okay, now what is the condition given? He should obtain an average of 90. Average, what do you mean by average, children? How you find the average? If you have 5 subjects, suppose you are having English, Maths, we go in order, yes, Tamil, then English, Maths, Science, Social. This was, I'm talking about your 10th, 11th, totally your subjects have been changes. You have, you're going through many detailed studies. Okay. So now here, suppose you're having Tamil, English, Maths, Science, Social. So how you take the average of your marks? So what are you going to do is, you are going to add all the marks. Tamil marks, 98. English mark, 98. Maths mark, 100. Yes, everyone will get 100. Science mark, 100. Social mark, 100. Okay. So you're going to score. Shall I put here 100, 100? Okay, 99, 99. So if a person scores 99, 99, 100, 100, 100. So this is the, what is that? This is a marks scored by a person. So how to find the average? So how to find the average is, you are going to add all the 5 values. 99 plus 99 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. You are going to add all the mark, and you are going to divide by the total number of subjects. So what is the total number of subjects we are dealing with? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So divide by 5. So this gives you the average. Clear with the average part? So how to find out the average? You are going to add all your marks, and you are going to divide by the total number of marks. So try out for your marks, children. You have your marks with you, yes? So you have scored your marks in your public exam. So try to get the average of your marks. Okay, so now we are going to follow the average over here. So write down here. So average is equal to all the 5 subjects. Right? So write down average is equal to, what is the marks given to you? 84 plus 87 plus 95 plus 91 plus, I don't know what is the value for 5th subject, so I just put there x upon 5. This is 5 because we have to add the total number of marks upon the total number of subjects. So what is the total number of subject? 5. This is greater than or equal to 90 because the condition was the average should be greater than or equal to 90 to get a A grade. So he can score 90 or he can score more than 90 for getting a A grade. So 84 plus 87 plus 95 plus 91 plus x upon 5 is greater than or equal to 90. Let's add the values, children. Add all the numbers. Add all the numbers. So what do you get here? 84, 87, 95, 91, 11, 16, 17, 16, 17, 17 and 18, 15, 35. So you get 357. 18, 26, 34, 35. You can go from back, this will be easy. 9, 9, 18, 18 plus 8, 26, 26 plus 8, 34, 34 plus 1, 35. So 357. So write down here 357 plus x, one number is left out. So put plus x upon 5 greater than or equal to 90. 357 plus x greater than or equal to 90. Okay, so let's proceed with the sums. So cross multiply, take this 5 to the side. So you get 357 plus x greater than or equal to 450. 9 5s are 45 and 1 0. So 450. Try to bring this numbers or just keep this, take this number to this side, no problem. So x is greater than equal to 450 minus 357. 450, 357. 10 minus 7, 3. This is 4. 14 minus 5, 9. 5, 5 also 4, yes. So we are borrowing 1 from here. So 14 minus 5, 9. So x is greater than or equal to 9. So what is the value or what is the number he has scored in 5th subject? He has scored 93. So let's see. That is the conclusion part. There. What is the minimum mark one scored in the 5th subject? So write down. Therefore, minimum mark the person scored in 5th subject is 93. So minimum, what is the minimum mark? They are asking what is the minimum mark. So what is the minimum mark? So he is going to score greater than or equal to 93. That means he can score 93 or more than 93. But here the question is to find out the minimum mark. So what will be the minimum mark? The minimum mark will be 93. So minimum mark the person scored in 5th subject is 93. Therefore, minimum mark the person scored. Therefore, the minimum mark, okay, this is okay, I think. So statement is okay, children. Therefore, minimum mark the person scored in 5th subject is 93. Okay, done. So we have complete 93 marks. Minimum marks the person scored in 5th subject is 93. No need. Enough. Try to get confused. Enough. I hope you are clear with the answers, children. So you have, how many sums I have given you? I have given you around 5 sums to complete. Just complete your 5 sums as homework. We have some more sums. We have, 10. We have many sums over here. Okay. We just try to continue with the next sums in the next class. So just complete your homeworks, and you know what is the work you have to do. You have to do your homework and you have to submit it properly. So do that work, children. You have to complete your homework and you have to submit it. And same way, just complete your assignments. Do not keep your work pending. Whenever you get time, or not whenever you get time, try to, you know how to manage your times, okay? So manage your time wisely and try to complete your assignments and just keep it ready. Okay, children? So we'll be continuing with the next sum in the next class.